From banning Golos to unbanning Wildfire in the same update, even Magic the Gathering's most casual format is not free from the curse that is power creep that has made this game a linguist's nightmare. So we thought, if Questing Beast is legal, why are these 30 or so other cards not allowed to be played in Commander? That's why we started this show. This is Casual Compliance.
Need those clicks. What is this? Clicks? Little crabs with mice on computers. They're clicking. Crabs are clicking. Their claws.
I don't know if there's any banned crabs.
Well, I mean, like, your doctor will tell you to get rid of it.
Yeah. Anyway, my name's Grams.
My name is Chili Ben.
And we play a lot of Commander. And we have opposing views on the most casual format of Magic the Gathering.
That makes it sound like we're really antagonistic towards one another. I don't think that's true.
We are. I think that Commander shouldn't have a ban list. I think that if it's a casual format and there's 26,000 individual cards, every single card should be legal.
26,000 plus.
26,000 plus individual cards. Exactly. Gavin, if you're watching, please tell us how many cards there are individually.
I mean, we just looked that up. Scryfall will tell us.
No, I want Gavin to tell me.
Okay. No, because to be fair, Scryfall would count like tokens, attractions, all the other shit that aren't like actually playable game pieces.
Yeah.
But you still use them.
Hey, they're still cards.
Yeah, true. They did put them on cardboard. Yeah.
So what we're going to do, and what we've done, is we've put together a list of the cards that are currently banned.
Mm-hmm. As of April 2024.
Which is, this is the Sunday after Thunder Junction pre-release has started.
So Thunder Junction is in a pseudo state of both being out and not out.
Yes, because the proper release is next Friday.
Yeah.
But all cards are legal as of pre-release. This is the important part. Now, the Commander Committee will announce their changes to the ban list tomorrow if their information is still up to date on their website. But what we've done is we've taken the cards that are on the ban list, which the most recent ban was in 2021, and we put on a little spin wheel, a fun little spin wheel that you're going to see in a second. Mm-hmm. And we're going to select a card at random. We're going to look at the card. We're going to tell you what the card is. Then we're going to give you our impressions, like what does the card do, why we think it might be banned, and if we think it can be unbanned. We're going to take some time. We're going to do some research to kind of push a point of one kind. You know what my point's going to be, but hey, maybe Chili at one point thinks that one of the cards can be unbanned.
Maybe. To be honest, I haven't looked at the whole list closely.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We know what my point's going to be. And then after we've done our research time, we will then have a good chat about what it looks like and come to an ultimate decision, which will most likely be it should be unbanned.
No. You can't just say that.
Yeah, look, I'm putting the crowd on my side. When you do the open for the next episode, you can put the crowd on your side.
I don't know. I like the idea of you doing every open because then I've got to make the pitch that is save the ban list.
Save the ban list. Yeah, not on Twitter.
No.
That's at Casual Show. No, Compliance Show.
Compliance Show.
Man, I should get that right. At Compliance Show on Twitter.
Correct.
And then you can also follow us on TikTok, which is Casual Compliance, and Patreon, which will be fully pushed soon. Casual Compliance. Free, no money.
And the YouTube channel is just at Casual Compliance as well.
Look at us go. Twitter, you fucked us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Elon.
Well, everyone else signing up for Twitter. I don't know what Casual Compliance was. I didn't think to look it up.
It looks like a dead page.
I love those.
Thanks, Elon.
Yeah. Say, hey, I've got this username that I don't know anyone else that uses it, and someone's squatting that shit with a dead account.
I'm going to hold on to it until Rooster Teeth decide to make... Oh, wait.
Oh, no.
Anyway, let's get on to the spin wheel. I'm going to do a screen record on my laptop here, and we can have some movie magic.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna put it in the screen, probably just between us in this liminal space.
I can't, because it doesn't record like your screen unless you're playing a game.
That sucks.
It does suck.
It's all right. We can figure that out later.
How come my internet spin wheel isn't a game?
NVIDIA.
Are you recording? It's recording. Okay,
yeah.
sick.
Go to Chrome and spin that bitch.
We're going to spin this wheel, and then I'm going, I'm just going to hold it onto the lap. Now, you know there's a laptop here. It's not recording. I don't know if it's recording the sound effect.
Like OBS might. Also, your microphone might pick it up out of the speakers.
Okay, first card. This is a fun one because this wasn't in one of our testers. We've got Rofellos. Llanowar Emissary.
I have never heard of this card.
So, we're going to put it up on here, but for the sake of everyone, I'm going to explain what the card is. Rofellos Llanowar Emissary is a 2 green, so green,
Yeah.
costing Elf Legend.
Okay, so legendary elf creature.
It's a 2/1.
Yeah.
It taps, add 1 green mana to your mana pool for each forest you control. It's a Gaia's Cradle.
Oh.
It's
Oh
Gaia's
my
Cradle.
god.
But
Okay.
it's a 2-cost Elf Legend. It came out in June 1999.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I know I set it up in the premise earlier,
Yeah.
but first impression...
That's strong as shit. Think about the number of ways you have to untap creatures.
Well, Prophet of Krufix is banned, but we'll get to that later. It's just this case of I'm going to hide the input so it's out of the list and everyone can see that on OBS, and I'm going to stop recording. And let's talk about the card a little bit. First impression, I think it can be unbanned, and this isn't even part of the meme.
What, is Gaia's Cradle banned?
I don't actually know that. No, it's not.
Okay.
Gaia's Cradle not banned, but Rofellos is.
Yeah.
We have to kind of look at why Rofellos, which is
Mark Rofellos.
a creature, Mark Rofellos. Just put Mark Ruffalo's face on the card. Why a creature, a 2-cost green 2/1 creature with the Gaia's Cradle effect is there, but Gaia's Cradle, which is a land,
Yeah.
a land, is legal when Gaia's is harder to remove.
Well, and also Gaia's Cradle will cost you about $6,000 US.
Yes, and I guess the thing with Rofellos is Commander is a singleton format, so I can understand why this might be banned in a 4 format.
It's a legendary creature. That could be your commander.
That could be a commander.
And I think that might be part of the reasoning, having not read it, because it's always available and it costs 2.
Yeah, okay. I can accept that. I still think it can be unbanned because there's a million ways to remove creatures.
Well, think about if you're playing on curve. That's sitting in the command zone. You hit it on turn 2. Turn 3, you've got 3 forests, and you can tap it for 3 mana.
Yeah, so you got 6 mana.
6 mana on turn 3.
That's ramp.
Yeah, but it is as long as you don't miss a land drop, it is like a guaranteed ramp.
I understand.
On top of other ramp pieces. You're playing green, you've got ramp.
Oh yeah, this is the argument on Twitter at the moment, which is everyone should be playing Armageddon.
Yeah.
Which just everyone should be playing Armageddon anyway. If you've got white in your deck, it's an auto include. In my opinion.
Insane.
There's a million ways to remove creatures.
Yeah.
Like it's easier to remove creatures than not. Goad it, do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
Like it is a cheap commander, but it's also a targetable commander.
Yes.
Look at from our pools, for example. Sorry, Alex, but Minsk and Boo, that gets targeted pretty quickly. Anyone that plays Shoulder, the Shoulder goes like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's one that gets beat down on, I think. And you'd also target that player if that's in their command zone. Like, looking at the state of the board, that comes out, you're going to swing at them because they have ramp.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I've got some thoughts of why they might have banned it.
Yeah.
There's about 3 or 4 different ways I think it can go here.
Yeah. First impression, do you think it needs to stay banned or can it be unbanned?
I think, well, yeah, this one, like, I could see an argument for removing it from the ban list. I wouldn't. I would leave it there because of just how easily accessible it is to get a lot of mana.
Okay.
And again, sure, it's a 2-drop and it gets removed, but like if you're playing green, you're playing ramp.
Yeah.
You don't care about command attacks as much. You will get it back out. You've got lands. You've got artifacts. You've got spells to get more lands. All that sort of shit. Yeah. I think it's just too reliable of a way to get too much mana.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, we accept that. What we're going to do our research phase now. Look at what reasons for, reasons against, what cards that do the same thing.
What we can individually come up with, and then we'll come together and we'll have a more informed discussion.
And one man will come out alive.
Episode 1. I guess thanks for watching. It's been a good run.
Okay, well, let's get to research.
Hey gang, Chilibin here, aka Syntax Daddy, coming to you live from in the middle of editing this episode. While we're busy getting our research together for whether or not we think Rofellos should stay banned, I thought that it'd be a good chance for me to try to give you some insight into how I go about searching for cards. whether I'm building a commander deck list or trying to get my arguments together for this show, Scryfall is usually the first thing I'll reach for. The first thing I will generally type in here, because I play a lot of Commander, is F Commander. F being short for format. You can also just write format in here as well. I just like to save typing. So this will immediately limit the search down to Commander legal cards. You can see at the top there, it's nearly 27,000 cards. This game is a nightmare. So we probably want to limit that a bit further. We're in mono green with something like Rofellos, so we're going to put IDG. ID being short for color identity. So this will limit the search further down to cards that you can play in a mono green deck. We run that search. We're looking at just over 6,000 cards, not quite specific enough. Rofellos, if we remember, is tap to add green to your mana pool for each forest you control. So we probably want to look for something that includes an effect like untap target creature, untap permanents, those sort of effects. So what we want to search for is this text box on the card where the abilities sit. So we're going to put F Commander, IDG. So we're looking at mono green Commander legal cards, and we want to search the Oracle text. So we put O. You can probably also put Oracle. I usually just type O. And then we'll put quotes around this so that it will treat it as a sentence as opposed to just a single word. We'll say untap target creature, for example. So it's going to look for any card legal in a mono green Commander deck that has the words untap target creature in its Oracle text, in its rules, and its abilities, whatever you want to refer to that as. So now we're down to 21 cards, and that's already a pretty good enough search for what I usually do. Scrolling through 21 cards, that's it. You can see it all here. You can just read these, find the ones that work for you. You'll find some old cards like a Finned Horn Brownie. This guy is about to huck a snowball at me. 2 and a green, untap target creature. You've got Jandor's Saddlebags. Pay 3, tap, untap target creature. So you got some options here. Some of these are going to be easier to find than others. Some old weird jank in here. But that's probably one of the most common types of searches I do on Scryfall when I'm putting a deck together. I like to build around synergies with abilities and things like that. So searching for the Oracle text is something I do a lot, and it's extremely useful. So hopefully this has helped. Hopefully you can start to dig through some of the syntax guides on Scryfall and learn a bit more. But if not, we're going to keep doing these in the episodes as we put them out. So we'll build on this together, and hopefully you can begin to search for cards in a more effective way over time. Anyway, back to the episode.
The thing is, his searches and my searches are going to look very different.
Yeah. I will say right now, a third of mine are actually on Scryfall. It's another website I really like for stuff like this called Commander Spellbook, which is a way to search for infinite combos. It's got a similar but different syntax to Scryfall, but there's
interesting.
It's very quick to find problems.
This is just confirmation bias, really. The entire concept of this show is confirmation bias.
The number of these that I'm finding that say results infinitely large, insert creature name until end of turn. I'll explain why.
We'll get there. These got 7 minutes left, but I'm honestly ready to go.
I think I've found enough.
Okay.
I've been radicalized.
Against?
Oh, so much.
Okay.
Hang on, give me one more sec.
So, Rofellos, Llanowar Emissary was first printed in 1999, June. But it was banned September 2014. And the banning is, but you're kind of on point and I like the first impression part because we actually do kind of see how on the nose we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's unique in its ability to consistently provide access to 6 mana on turn 3 as a commander.
Hey.
Regardless of which cards are played in the rest of the deck. And that's the core of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because like to normally ramp to 6 on turn 3, you'd have to have
Specific
you'd have
draws.
to hit like a Kadama's Reach, a Soul Ring, blah blah blah, insert ramp pieces here.
This card is banned for doing too much too fast with minimal deck building restrictions.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, green is Wooburg.
Yeah. I had to process that for a second.
Trying to catchphrase stuff so we have like merchandising later. Let's make sure my microphone's still up. Cool, I'm going to put this aside and let's talk arguments. And let's start with what you found.
Yeah, I've got a couple of clarifications from specifically the like notes and rules on Scryfall specifically for Rofellos. It says it's banned as a commander in dual commander format, so 1v1, but it may be part of your deck.
Yes, and
so you can have it hidden away in the 99, which I think is like an interesting concession, but it's still banned in multiplayer commander.
So my understanding is that it was I think it was up until 2020, banned as commander still existed. Let me just confirm.
Well, this Scryfall note, by the way, is from 2015. So it got banned in 2014.
It got banned in 2014.
And in 2015, the French were like, we'd like that, actually. See vous play.
See vous play. Commander ban list no longer, blah, 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 blah. Where is this? Banned as commander. Oh, yeah, no, that's in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So 2014, banned as commander came through.
Yeah.
And, which means that, unfortunately, Rofellos fell into that. Because he originally was banned as commander, but allowed in the 99. Because that card in the 99, way less aggressive.
Yeah, it's still kind of gross. Yeah. There's still ways to, especially in green, tutor up a creature.
Yes.
But I could see that.
Yes.
The other thing, like I mentioned Guy's Cradle before, and I've just fucking lost the tab. The screen is too small. But correction on myself, it costs $780. And that was actually because like some of the stuff we've looked at around ban reasons, and like one of the reasons can be that it makes a perception of commander as having a high entry point cost wise.
Yeah.
So if this card had ended up costing on a similar scale to Guy's Cradle, that might be where the ban came from, but which is why it's interesting Guy's Cradle isn't.
Yes.
You know, it's not to the extreme of like OG Jewel lands and like Moxes and shit like that. Actually, OG Jewels are fine, aren't they?
The OG Jewel lenses, they're unbanned.
No, they're unbanned because
they're
like,
unbanned.
But
they're several $1,000s.
Yeah.
So
they are all it's so interesting that Guy's Cradle is actually not banned.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's such a good card, but is everybody going to go get it? Probably not.
Yeah, and honestly, it serves a function, but like, is it the most amazing function? Not really.
No.
It's very dependent, and it's part of the 99. And I guess one of the arguments I saw a lot when I was doing my looking was it's an 8th card in your hand at all times.
Yeah.
Is Rofellos. And I see that.
Well, you could think about your commander as being that, but this one is too much too soon.
Yeah.
Guy's Cradle being a legendary land is harder to search for.
Yes.
Unless you'd have to like run a combo of like Root Path Purifier to turn all lands into basics and then go do a fetch.
Yeah.
And that's too much to find a single
lot
land.
of extra work.
Yeah.
What else you got for me, Mr. Radicalized anti-Rofellos?
Yeah, I opened one page, one card, Staff of Domination.
What was okay?
So it's a 3-cost artifact.
Yep.
And it has 5 effects that cost an increasing amount of mana.
Yep.
1 mana, untap Staff of Domination.
Yep.
The other 4 require you to tap it.
Yep.
So 2 mana and tap, you gain 1 life.
Nice.
I'm going to leave the third one. 4 and tap target creature.
Yeah.
5 and tap, draw a card.
Yeah.
3 mana, tap Staff of Domination, untap target creature. If you're hitting this on turn 3, you already have an infinite combo on turn 3. And then I went to commanderspellbook.com, which if you're looking for infinite combos is a great resource. So basically everything involves Staff of Domination and a creature that produces green mana in some way.
Yep.
So they're all saying basically the same thing, which is if you can tap the creature for 3 mana, you can then untap the staff untap the staff for 1, so you're producing 2.
Yeah.
Which just like you can do the math, like it's very quick, very easy to do that. And all of these things are like, you know, infinite card draw, infinite draw triggers, infinite green mana, infinite life gain triggers. Like you've got too much going on there. And there's things in here like that will make creatures big as shit.
Yep.
Because there's effects of like putting counters or making creatures bigger until end of turn based on all these sort of effects. Now the really fucked shit is a card called Umbral Mantle.
Okay.
Have you heard of this? Because I haven't.
I haven't, no.
It's from, I believe, that's Shadowmoor's symbol.
It's got like the little like wing, bat wing.
Yeah, Shadowmoor.
Yeah.
So Umbral Mantle is a
should know that.
3-cost equipment.
Yeah.
It says, equipped for 0, by the way.
Nice. Love it. Lightning greaves.
Equipped creature has 3 and untap. This creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn.
Okay.
So you're tapping Rofellos for, I don't know, 4, 5, 10, 100 mana, whatever the fuck. And then you pay 3 of that and untap it to give it +2/+2.
Make it big.
You do that as many times as you like.
On turn 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
I'm hearing you. Counterpoint.
Uh-huh.
There is a strictly better commander that makes Rofellos look like nothing.
I don't know. This card is seeming pretty cracked.
So, Selvala.
Uh-huh. Let me find that.
If you want to read out Selvala for me.
Sure. Selvala costs 1 and 2 green. It is a 2/3 legendary elf scout.
Yep.
Which says whenever another creature enters the battlefield, its controller may draw a card if its power is greater than each other creature's power.
Yep.
So a big creature comes in. If it's the biggest, you draw a card.
Yes.
Well, you may. Then you've got green and tap Selvala to add X mana in any combination of colors, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control.
Yes. So, my reasoning for Selvala is, again,
Green loves to make big single creatures.
Green loves to make big single creatures. Green loves to make a lot of creatures, which is going on to my second point.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking at this at the lens of green, just in general.
Well, this is mono green.
Mono green.
I mean, you could...
Actually, it's mono green for Taunos as well. For Rofellos, not Taunos.
I mean, we're talking about, like, Rofellos as a commander here, but, like, if you had it in the 99...
You can have it in any deck.
Any deck.
But it's only creating green mana, though.
Yes.
Yes, that's the core of it. So let's look at mono green in Devotion. Selvala wants big creatures into battlefield, is a draw engine, and for 1 in a tap, will create X amount of mana where X equals to the power
greatest power among creatures. So the greatest single creature.
Yes, and then you pair that with the Staff of Domination. You get to untap it. You use 1 of the green floating mana to tap it again, to then produce that much mana again, playing the next biggest creature.
Yep.
And like if we're looking at infinite combos like with Rofellos, Staff of Domination again.
Umbral Mantle.
But then also cards like it lets you look at the top of your library. If it's a land, play it. And if you have 3 creatures with different powers, you can play creatures from the top of your library. Eternal Witness, I think it is.
I mean, I could look it up.
Yes, please. Just while we're talking about that. But basically what you have there is an infinite engine where you can play a card, and if the next card just happens to be a card that isn't a creature, cool, you've played a creature with higher power anyway, hopefully, and you've drawn that card that isn't good there. And if the card is better, then you just play that card, and you just keep adding this larger mana.
All right, so you're saying it's got a you may look at the top card of your library effect?
Yeah, you may look at the... I don't know if it's play with it revealed or you look at the top of your library. I think if you look at the top of your library any time.
But the other effect was like...
Play a land from the top of your library at any time.
With different powers, right?
And then 3 different powers amongst creatures you control.
You are thinking of Augur of Autumn.
Augur of Autumn, that's the one.
Human Druid, 1 and 2 green.
Yeah.
You may look at the top card of your library, you may play lands, and Coven, because it's from Midnight Hunt. As long as you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may cast creature spells from the top.
I play Augur in my mono green standard deck at the moment.
That's a good choice.
It's a good choice, yeah. And so I think with like there is some brutal stuff that can be done with Rofellos, yes, but that stuff can be done with cards that are unbanned and in my opinion strictly better.
Yeah.
Looking at Elvish Archdruid, it's a 1 and 2 green, so 1 green, which is an elf lord. Other elves get +1/+1.
Correct.
And then tap it, add green for 1 green mana for each creature on the battlefield.
Each elf.
Each elf.
Yeah, well, you're playing elves.
Yes.
You're doing
and
that.
if we're playing Kindred, we're playing Typal, you're going to have a bunch, and you're going to have token generators, and again, infinite combo there, but you're limited to playing 1 forest per turn.
Yes.
You miss a land drop, Rofellos useless.
Well, you get a druid class out. There's ways to get multiple lands per turn.
Yeah, but it's easier to get multiple creatures out.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I guess, like the thing that would slow a Selvala deck down is the card draws coming from a creature entering.
Yes.
So you've got to find a way to like reliably trigger like tokens or whatever.
Yes.
But
then also, what is Selvala?
Well, it's also got to be a creature that comes in bigger than everything else.
Yes.
So
Only
that's
in power.
Yeah, but like that's maybe where it gets more difficult as you go.
But also, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Unless you've got something that's like adding counters as they enter.
Yeah, as they enter the battlefield.
Some sort of effective like add counter for each.
Defile bigger.
Yeah.
Play a green spell, +1/+1 counter.
Yeah.
And I guess the thing with Selvala is, though, what is for Selvala's power and toughness?
2/3.
Whereas Rofellos is 2/1.
So
it's a lot easy. It's like Selvala is still susceptible, but it's most colors can very, very easily get rid of Rofellos. Disfigure, easy peasy, done. That's -2, -2.
Just any like 1 damage ping.
-1, -1 for each swamp you control, which the black.
You don't even need to go that hard.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to remove than cards like Selvala and Elvish Archdruid,
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying because it is big and scary.
And happens early and repeatedly.
And you have infinite access too because it's in your command zone unless it gets O-code.
Yeah, sure.
My opinion, put an Armageddon in every single one of your decks and unban it.
No, just run a Blood Moon. Turn them into not forests. No, wait, that's non-basic lands.
I Blood Mooned myself playing Borborygmos, turn 3.
Blood Moon is specifically non-basic lands, right?
Non-basic lands.
Yeah, so what do you need? Urborg?
Urborg.
Turn them all into swamps?
Turn them all into swamps. Oh, there's swamps in addition, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no real way to shut them down.
No.
Except for Armageddon. But I did Blood Moon myself playing Borborygmos on turn 3.
And then
I starved myself for the rest of the game.
You probably should have just got up from the table.
Yeah, no, I stuck it out. I ended up killing someone. I lethaled someone.
You did.
Not with the Borborygmos though, but with the pitching.
Just throwing lands.
Yeah, just throwing lands into my graveyard. But yeah. Okay, thoughts. Ban, unban.
Like, yeah, sometimes I see powerful cards and I'm like, I would love to see that play out in a game. This I know exactly how it's going to go every time. Yes. So it also produces boring and repetitive games, which having like reread the Commander philosophy recently, that is something they're actively trying to steer the game away from. Yes. Is they want every game to be dynamic and have these moments that you remember. But if it's like every time you play the Rofellos deck, turn 4, it's game over. Yeah. Like that's not in the spirit of things either. Yeah. Like not even talking about the relative power of it and how fast it gets out of control, but it's just boring.
And I guess, something I spoke to before we did our little research moment as well as something that, Commander and the Rules Committee is really trying to avoid is having a single player be the target because of the commander they're playing. We should be taking the game on the merit of the board state.
Yeah.
Shieldred notwithstanding, but even then, like we should be taking the game on the merit of the board state. So if you're looking at and he's playing Rofellos and you're like, cool, that's going to win turn 4, you're going to target that person. Even that person's not going to have a good time.
No.
So I can understand why it's banned. I stand by my opinion. It should be unbanned because there's a lot of ways to manage it and deal with it. But I do understand what it would do.
I feel like it would end up like becoming effectively unbanned because no one would want to play against that person.
Yes. What would you do to fix? Give me one way to fix Rofellos just to end out the show.
I think it'd be really funny if when you tap it, you destroy all your forests afterwards.
That's a good fix. I like that.
So cool. You've got all this mana. Yeah. You better be able to go and dig up a bunch of lands again right now.
I think not similar, but somewhat similar is having a Selvala fix.
Right.
You have to tap 2 forests to do this effect, or you have
because you're getting mana for the number of forests. It's not about whether or not they're tapped.
But you should have to at least tap 2 forests to do the effect. So instead of having 6 mana, you only have 4 on turn 3.
You could still get that Staff of Domination thing happen.
You still can get it going,
yeah.
but it slows it down a bit.
I don't think it slows it down enough.
Okay, well then you
think-
have to tap 6 for it.
No,
Or
I think
it tap a creature.
I think
Tap another
incorporating land destruction into the effect is probably the best fix.
We should put land destruction in every effect.
No. Incorrect.
I think that's a good end.
Yeah.
I don't even think we need an out. I think
we need. I think an outro is good.
Hi, this has been an episode of If you want to watch more of us, just keep watching. I'm sure there'll be a playlist or something like that.
Well, also, where can they find us on the internet? You set up all those accounts and things.
All those things.
We should tell the people at home
We've
where
got
to find
TikTok and Casual Compliance. Hopefully by the time this episode's out, there's a few more on there. Now that episode 0 is out, we've got X, which is Twitter.
Let's call it Twitter.
So we got Twitter,
which is
doing at Casual. No, fucking.
It's Compliance Show.
Compliance Show. YouTube is at Casual Compliance, but you're at YouTube. But if you're listening on Transistor and what will hopefully soon be Spoofy.
Well, if you're just listening to the audio version,
if you listen to the audio version,
we'll put it out.
It'll be on all of our socials, including it should be on our description for YouTube as well.
Yeah, and the podcast episode, the audio, should have it in the description as well.
Yeah,
I now have to remember to do that.
That's all right. I can because you're doing the editing. While you're doing the editing, I can write up a show description.
Yeah,
sick. Thanks for watching, guys. If you sleep while listening to this, please tell me what dreams you have. You can email me at casualcompliance@gmail.com.
I thought you were about to give out your actual email address.
That is my actual email address. I am the show and that's it.
Who am I?